sometimes the game won't cooperate. All right, so we got a fresh new bug here, guys. Now, I have seen this one. This one definitely popped up in my game before, and I was very confused about what happened. If you don't know, apparently, there is a bug out there that can make your pistol, I believe it's just the pistol, it can make your pistol invisible. Now, if it's functioning, I didn't try. As soon as I pulled out my weapon and noticed that it was invisible, I kind of panicked and switched my weapons again and just like rolled around on the ground for a little bit, and then and then my pistol was back, which is nice. But yeah, overall, this bug can definitely be pretty detrimental if you consider the fact that it just takes away your pistol. And of course, there are Blood Raven jokes about this, but for now, we're going to jump into this clip. We're going to take a look at this. Now, this clip also does come with another bug, but I'm not too sure how prevalent this one is. I have seen the invisible pistol bug, but this other bug I think is probably more rare. Perhaps it's terrain-based. It is a jetpack bug, of course. I mean, when it comes to using the pistols, the assault class, and the bulwark, that's their main weapon, so I can probably see the invisible pistol bug happening with both those classes, maybe. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you ran into the bug that makes your pistol literally invisible. But okay, yeah, we're gonna jump into the clip. Let's break it down. Let's see what is happening here, and perhaps this is something that we can avoid. Okay, for the Emperor. Nice for the Emperor chant right here before they go for the slam. Surely this is gonna work out, right? And it does not. So, as far as the slam goes, obviously this is not the focus bug of this video. That does happen to me time to time, to be completely honest. This is pretty interesting. I think it's because, yeah, as you can see where they jump off, they jumped off on the stairs here. So I think perhaps, like, they're aiming over there to the right, but for whatever reason, you can, wait, wow, you actually saw the initial circle was right here. So he's actually slamming down. He's actually slamming down where he was initially pointing, and then went over there. That could be like a lag situation or something. I hope not. But yeah, I mean, seriously though, when it comes to jumping off of stairs with the jetpack, be a little careful, because yeah, it can definitely sort of limit your trajectory a little bit, it seems. But okay, yes, the bug that we are here for is this bug right here, and it has nothing to do with getting sniped there. To be completely honest, getting sniped there is kind of unfortunate, but you can see like this sniper is pretty much ready to go. This sniper should have fired, to be completely honest. It's like the sniper was waiting for the roll catch. But okay, yeah, they pulled out the plasma pistol, and it's not there. It is not there, dude. Dude, did he try to fire the weapon? Because I would think that he did. Dude, yeah, oh man, I think that's a different... No, actually, wait, no, he has a plasma pistol. It does look like there's some sort of effects right here, like the blood effects. So it's potentially... Yeah, see, it potentially does get an attack off, maybe, but maybe it doesn't do any damage, because you can even see the teammates' bullets right there. See, they're shooting with the plasma. So when the tactical here pulls out the weapon, boom. Yeah, see, as soon as they pull out the weapon, you can see a little bit of, you know, damage effects. Maybe this was from the invisible weapon, and perhaps the invisible weapon still puts out damage effects. But as you can see, yeah, the gun is not here. Does he... Oh, radiating impact. That's cool. Unfortunate. We don't get to see him try to pull out the weapon again. Now, for me, when I had the invisible weapon, I mentioned before, I kind of just rolled on the ground. It just came back eventually. So I think that's the best way to do it. Basically, if you have an invisible weapon, try your best to just keep switching your weapons, and then your invisible weapon should be back. Nobody stole it. No Blood Raven stole this plasma pistol. It's there. It's just... not there at the time. It's just not there at the time. So yeah, let's break this down. Stair jump into a slam, that feels a little bit laggy, because yeah, the slam was initially aimed over there. Now we do have this sniper shot. That is unfortunate. I'm not too sure if there's anything to break down there, but yeah, this invisible pistol, the invisible pistol here really does look like he pulls it out and then it like works, and then like stops working. He's just really confused of what he's looking at. Dude, he really is just like imagining this pistol. Dude, that is very, very unfortunate. Now, when it comes to this bug, I'm not too sure how they fix it, right? This seems to be something a little bit weird. This is definitely new as well. I don't think I've ever seen this bug on another patch. This is definitely a new bug. I ran into it once. I've ran into it once since the new patch, so I can't imagine that is going to be something that is too... you know, too widespread. Hopefully you're not getting invisible weapons, and as far as I know, it only works for the secondary. Like, you can't get an invisible primary, which is nice because that could be very annoying. I've never seen anyone have an invisible chainsword as well, so I guess this really is only like a secondary weapon bug. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Definitely super weird. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys ran into this one, because this is obviously a bug that we should avoid. I hope the devs know a way to fix it. Again, though, I've only ran into it once, and it does... Okay, I guess the pistol doesn't function. Maybe it functions at the first aim, and then just stops functioning. I don't know. That is definitely weird, though. Yeah, I mean, he's not able to do anything. I think the way that he's aiming here, he's definitely trying to get it to do something, so... Perhaps an invisible pistol will not work, so that is unfortunate. We are not orcs. We can't just imagine the weapon and it'll work. we just can't do that, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, that invisible pistol is definitely a detriment. Thank you, you got both bugs on the video. Every time I tried to get the second bug, being the invisible pistol bug, me switching to the keyboard to start record, going back to roller to ads and shoot the bug is gone. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of reassuring that this person can't even get a clip of it, because whenever it happens to them, the bug just goes away by the time they're ready for the clip, so that's pretty interesting. The jetpack is just so nerfed for operation for no reason. I'm not sure it's for no reason. I've said my opinion about the jetpack. I think the jetpack is like functional. It's doing its best. It's doing its best. No, but seriously though, if we were jumping all over the place, I imagine there would be a lot of spots in the operation we could just brick ourselves. We could probably jump over like a railing and then just go into some area that we can't jump out of or anything like that. I just think they were just trying to avoid any sort of, you know, bad spots you could land and not get out of, I guess. But yeah, ultimately, I'm not too sure if that even played into the jetpack bug that we saw right there. When it comes to jetpack bugs, we just kind of take with what we can get, you know? There's a time whenever you jumped for the jetpack bug, what would happen is you just slam where you jumped from. Effectively, you're not able to actually slam anything unless it's completely under you. Now, that happened on staircases, on ramps. It's sort of terrain like that, like anything that's an incline, can definitely mess up the jetpack. So just be careful of that. Let me know in the comments if you actually have any good advice on that one, because I don't know if you remember, but yeah, we definitely had a bug where if you were to use the jetpack, you basically were only able to slam underneath you. That was a frustrating time for the game. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much, because I think that was also during the spore mine apocalypse. So there's a lot of times where you could use the jetpack to like try to get out of the spore mines, and then you'll just slam right back into the spore mines. So that could be pretty difficult and pretty frustrating, I can imagine. But yeah, as far as the invisible pistol bug, it doesn't seem like there's too much information on that one. I even tried to look it up, and yeah, I couldn't really find too many people talking about that. So let me know in the comments if you actually ran into the invisible pistol bug, because that one can potentially be pretty detrimental. I think the jetpack bug can be annoying as well, but ultimately he still was able to slam on something, which is nice. I really hope the next update shows Assault class some love. It is kind of funny that in a video where you see a jetpack slam fail, and then also in the same video you see an invisible weapon, people are really focusing on the failed jetpack slam, which is kind of funny to me. I think, honestly, the invisible pistol is way more concerning than people are letting on. In addition to buggy stuff like this, we also can't fly on high platforms and stairs or smash flying enemies like Vanguard can. Don't even have the hover function. The hover function, I mean, we kind of do. We kind of do have the hover function. We just, you know, it's based on slamming and not bringing out your pistol. I do think I agree with that when it comes to the assault slam. When it comes to people talking about the PvP slams and the jetpack and stuff, I think the only thing that's really missing is the fact that you can just be in the air and pull out your weapon. That would be sick, and honestly with Unyielding Oath kind of works. That is also maybe not the most useful tactic in operations. I could see somebody jumping up in the air, pulling out their pistol, trying to get some shots, and just immediately getting sniped. So perhaps the slams aren't the best way to get ranged damage. But okay, so also I've seen a fair amount of people compare the slams to Vanguard's grapple. I think a lot of people kind of underestimate how buggy the grapple can also be. Considering the fact that if you like grapple enemies that are in executionable state, it depends if your teammate is already executing them. You can still get like the perk triggers. Like there's a perk for Vanguard. If you get a grapple execution, you do area of effect damage in the vicinity, obviously, which is a very good perk. It actually does put majors into executionable state quite often. But there's plenty of times where you go for that grapple and you will get the area of effect damage, but you won't actually get the execution because a teammate already got it. So I honestly feel like the grapples are a little bit more buggy in a sense, or just as buggy as the jetpack. But however, we've definitely had more issues with the jetpack in the past, so it's probably, yeah, it's the jetpack is probably more buggy than the grapple. I just think people think it's like flawless, and the grapple does. Sometimes it can grapple things you don't want. Sometimes the hitbox of the grapple is a little bit weird. You can base it depending on who you're actually looking down at. Like you could grapple like a gaunt that just jumps in your way and stuff like that. So, or kick them, because you could like grapple a major and then like a gaunt gets in your way, you just kick the gaunt. So I guess it really depends. The grapple is fun though. Both of these classes are very fun, but I feel like people really think the Vanguard has like such a flawless experience, and I'm not 100% sure if that's true. At least in my experience, the Vanguard can be just as janky as the Assault class sometimes. But yeah, that is honestly pretty funny though, seeing this clip and seeing the obvious implication that invisible weapons are a bug in the game. I really hope more people start to, basically tell us if they're experiencing this bug, because I kind of want to see exactly how it's happening or the best way to get rid of it. For me, again, once I noticed it was invisible, I would switch weapons and roll around on the ground just for whatever reason. I don't think that's necessary, but yeah, basically I feel like it's basically a time thing. So switch your weapons, switch back, whatever. Eventually the pistol should be back. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys actually ran into the invisible pistol bug. Or I guess let me know in the comments if you actually have something to share with the assault class's jetpack in a way to make it a little bit more fluid, maybe. Like, do you get any sort of jetpack bugs where you basically slam down at a spot you weren't aiming for? And yeah, I still think the invisible pistol. It's not even invisible, it's gone. The missing pistol bug is definitely, at least to me, feels like it's a little bit more concerning, but it really depends how often it can happen. If it can only happen like once every 2 weeks, nah, that's not that big of a deal. The jetpack being a little wonky definitely happens more often than that. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.